And welcome back to the Huge Boob Corner. I am your host, Peter McLean, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting the show. And I just wanted to give a quick little announcement before we start that this is actually going to be my final episode for a while, and this is going to be something that I'm going to be taking a break for a little bit. But I just wanted to say I want to thank again for the last few years. It's been an amazing experience. You've been a wonderful audience. You've been wonderful fans and supporters of the show. And I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done and for being with me and for being with me on this journey that has been so amazing. And honestly, the person that I have on the show today is the perfect person that I could have had ever to finish the show, because she is probably the greatest huge boob model in the world.
Aww.
And so she is probably somebody who I would never be able to top after this. And so I can't imagine a better way to end the show, which, I mean, I could be back. It's a hiatus, but in case I'm not, I just want to say, if this is my final show, I just want to say that this woman is extraordinary in every sense of the word. And I can't not believe that I get to talk to her and I get to do this on my final episode. Would you please welcome Foxy?
Hi, guys.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm honored to be on here and be able to talk with you.
Yeah, well, and I mean, you were somebody who, as I said, you are the pinnacle of what this show is about. And I'm just really happy that, I mean, the fact that I actually wasn't planning on doing one more episode. But you actually, when you reached out and you said, "Hey, let's do this," and I was like, "Oh, I can't say no."
Yeah,
I
you have to go out with a bang.
I got to go, and the fact that you reached out to me was serendipitous.
Yeah,
because it's like because we'd messaged before and we tried to make it work in the past, but just scheduling and timing and stuff like that. But because it worked out, I was like, this was fate. The huge boob gods.
I know.
Brought us together for this.
The big broad, the sky brought me here.
Yes, exactly. So I'm really happy that you're here. And I just want to say thank you also for the kind words that you've said in regards to me and the show and everything. I really appreciate that.
I just think you've done such a remarkable job on this show. And a lot of people do not have the gift of interview. You know what I mean?
It can be difficult.
Yeah. And you just seem very smooth and natural, and you put everyone at ease.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important.
And I've always tried to do that. I mean, granted, the boobs sometimes can make it difficult.
Yeah.
But then again, I
don't look over here.
Yeah, right. But I wanted this. But if I was like, if there's anybody that could not be, as distracted, because I imagine, and we'll talk about this, that obviously your boobs probably create quite a lot of reactions.
Yeah.
When you've done other shows and other interviews and stuff like that. So, but anyway, so let's get started. And I wanted to start with, do you consider yourself like a model, an influencer, a content, like where do you put yourself?
I normally list it as model.
Model, okay.
Just because I'm doing like pictures and videos and stuff like that. So I consider it model.
Okay. And so do you do model? Is it basically just your own content that you make then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
every now and then I'll have like a collaboration with another female.
Okay.
Like another big busted female.
Okay.
But it's normally just me.
Okay. All right. So just solo stuff then?
Yep.
Do you tend to go into more, like, do you go topless? Do you go nude, or do you just keep it like more glamour, where you're in like bikinis or dresses?
I do topless.
Okay.
But I sell the videos.
Okay. That's good. And so did you start modeling as you started going bigger, or were you modeling before that?
Well, years ago, like when I was a teenager, I modeled, but not like this kind of modeling.
No.
And then I did not come out even on social media. Like I was nowhere. Everyone said like overnight, like I suddenly appeared on Twitter and everyone's like, where did this one come from?
Yeah.
And I appeared at like 4,000 cc's. I had filled my expanders at 3,000.
Okay.
So I had implants before that.
Mhm.
And then when I went to get the expanders, those were filled to 3,000, and I was able to start filling them.
Okay.
So as soon as I hit 4,000, I think I started Twitter,
All right.
and I had, an everyday job,
Okay.
so
So, and what were you doing at the time?
I was an interior decorator.
Okay.
So I worked showrooms, and then I also had my own design business. So I would go out after working all day. I would go out and do my design work.
Okay.
So I was actually known for like over the top nurseries and kids' rooms.
Oh, okay.
I know.
No, hey.
Now I look like I'm nursing the whole village.
Right,
now.
Well, I mean that's and so so then at what point then did you start to make so modeling is now your full-time career?
Now it is.
Okay.
When I had started, I think about a month or so in of Twitter.
Mhm.
Then I decided, okay, I'm gonna try OnlyFans.
Mhm.
I had no idea like what I was doing and what to expect, and I tried it, and I looked at my numbers, and I'm like, okay, I think I need to go in tomorrow and go down to part-time.
Mhm.
Well, by the time I woke up in the morning, I looked at my numbers, and I'm like, I've got to quit. I'm like, I'm being stupid. I can't possibly do all of this content and talk to everyone
Yeah.
and work too.
Okay.
Like, it would be too much.
Yeah. Was it difficult leaving the interior design behind, or did you like the modeling
because
more?
I'm so creative
Yeah.
that I still miss that element of it,
Mhm.
but I don't miss some of the weird people calling me in the middle of the night because, their plant leaf is like a few inches too tall.
Okay,
I'm like,
okay.
just bend the branch. Just go to bed.
So the modeling was was a better fit for your personality then? Or your how you liked living your life because you got to make your own schedule now, right?
Yeah. It's kind of nice that I had the other, but it's like it kind of fills both personalities in there, if
Okay.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it gave me my creative outlet,
Mhm.
but then I can still be creative and I can be my own boss with
Yeah.
this and get to know people that I would have never known. I was so shy before the surgeries.
Really?
And it just kind of, these made me be social because
Okay.
I can't hide them.
No, that'd be a little difficult.
And everyone nowadays have a phone,
Mhm.
and everyone's always taking pictures or videos.
Mhm.
And I have no choice but to be front and center.
Yeah.
So it's like I always say that it's like seeing the Loch Ness Monster.
Mhm.
You know you're going to want to take a picture of it. So just take a picture because you don't know when it'll ever happen again.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely say that seeing you would be like seeing a unicorn
Yep.
out in the wild.
Yep.
Where you're like, did I just see that? But you actually exist as opposed to you're not mythical.
Nope, definitely not.
So all right. So and then so is your the content that you make, will you take requests from people, or will you just kind of do your own thing and just put whatever you want to make out there?
Sometimes like the guys will write in and say, "Hey, have you thought of this?" And it's like, and if it's like a reasonable request, then a lot of times I'll listen.
Okay. So like what would be an example of like something that would be a request that you're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Dropping them like on a table,
Okay.
just like
just bam.
boom. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Which I did that on one of the shows that I was on,
Mhm.
and I broke the table.
Really?
But you can tell it's already broken because it was the second tape because they were not expecting me to do that.
Okay.
And so they said, "Can you do it again?" Well, yeah, but the table was already broken. So if you look at it,
Yeah.
and you look at the base, it's already broken.
Okay. All right. Do you get ones that are like, maybe using like lotion or oil or stuff like that?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah.
And is that all right with you? Or
Yeah, I mean, anything to shine them up. I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't like shiny boobs?
True. But also, sometimes people can start to get into different like food type stuff or things,
Yeah.
and you're just like that. Now you're getting into a mess.
Now, I thought for the longest time that I had read that you can't do food content on OnlyFans.
Really?
So I kept staying away from food, and I think I read it wrong.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, well, that was a waste of a lot of food.
Yeah, well. So then when you started doing the modeling, then when you started doing, did you start with OnlyFans from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, and then I branched out to like all the other platforms.
Okay. And when did you note like, so I assume then that the fan response was pretty immediate.
It was immediate, yeah.
And was like, what was it something that you were just kind of because it sounds like you were a little shy before the boobs? Was it something that was a little kind of was it a little like jarring to have all these people now all of a sudden being like, oh, you're so amazing?
It was weird. I mean, it did help because it went gradual because like as they grew.
True.
So like I didn't start off as large, but I mean everyone thought 4,000 was
that's
giant.
That's still on a high end.
My scale is broken.
Oh,
so
really?
I don't realize sometimes like how big they are. Like if I look down, I see to like the event horizon. It's like it's here.
Yeah.
I can't see
below that. Yeah.
I mean they're on my lap. So I sit back.
Yep, there you go. Look
on my
at that.
lap.
That is incredible. So, and yeah, and I so like, and I have to imagine that have companies tried to reach out to you to want to shoot with them? Like
They
obviously
have,
Score
yeah.
like would probably be, I feel like the one that would be the main one.
They have, but I don't do sex scenes.
Okay.
So.
And I know that they're, that they tend to have. I mean, I've heard that I've heard in the over years that they can be flexible depending on how much they want you to be with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that if boy girl stuff is not your cup of tea, then
it's not my thing.
It's fine. Which it's not, and I imagine your fans probably prefer the solo stuff, right? Or do you get requests for more?
I had a studio for a while that I kept using. I've used a couple studios. And no matter how elaborate I would design the set with the photographer guy who was great, who would build anything I came up with.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made amazing sets. The guys didn't like it as much. They liked me just at home. I'm like, I don't understand.
I guess seeing you in a real place makes it feel more real.
Personal.
Yeah, more personal. Yeah. So, they're not seeing you in this kind of glammed up environment. I think that a lot of times fans like to envision themselves, with the models that they love, and it's easier to do that, I think, when they see you at home as opposed to seeing you in a studio or seeing you in an environment that they can't picture themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At least
they
that's
become part of
saying.
my world.
Yeah,
my big boob world.
And I mean, because I obviously, you have you have the largest boobs on OnlyFans by far.
Yeah.
And too bad they couldn't give you an award for that.
I know. Well, two. I could just balance them on top.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So what? So like, when if you don't mind me asking, so just doing the solo stuff, like, is it just like, is it going beyond that's just, I guess you don't need to, right? Like you do well enough without having to.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I decided at the very beginning, I'm like, here's my line in the sand.
Okay.
As soon as I cross that line, it's going to be expected forever.
Yeah. Trying to go back from that.
Yeah. You can't really go back over the line.
It can be difficult when that's what they're used to. But but it sounds like you've enjoyed it for the most part for
I
what you've
have.
been doing.
And I've met so many really nice people. Like and I've had so much fun with it. Like and I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for my fans.
Oh, of course. And you're here for AVN.
Yeah.
Which do you try to come to it every year?
I've been trying to ever since I started 2 years ago, I think. So this is my third one that I'm going to.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it because it gives me a chance to meet some of the people that I talk to online, and for them to see that I am real.
Yeah. Exactly.
I am in public.
Yes.
And it's like, I think with a lot of the models that are out there, a lot of them have this weird thing where it's like, they don't realize that it's like, you kind of owe it to your fans to go do events and to,
in a way, yeah,
and to be public and to be willing to meet people and take pictures and do interviews. And I think it's all part of it.
Yeah. Well, and because that just furthers the connection.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're paying your bills and they're getting to know you. And how are they going to get to know you if you sit under a rock?
Yeah. And that I get that. And so when you go, do you try to be at a booth or do you just walk around? Or
I just walk around because I don't really want to worry about paying for the booth, as they are pricey.
Yeah, they can be.
And I don't want to have to sit there and charge for pictures.
Yeah.
I'd rather just take a picture and make them happy and maybe I get some follows along the way.
Yeah.
It just seems it's more my style, I guess.
Well, and that's the thing is because some models will go there, they'll charge, other ones, won't.
Yeah.
It just depends on who it is. And I get it if you're there and you're paying for the booth because it is expensive. Charging for it makes charging for it makes more sense.
Yeah, it does.
Say like if I had a booth and I just had you there as like a part of it, and you could be there, but if I had done something like that. But that's cool. I mean, have you gone to other conventions like Exotica or XBiz?
I did Exotica one time. I was not as happy with it as AVN.
Okay. What is it about AVN that you like the most?
It was more organized than Exotica.
Yeah, that tends to be the case. So, but no, but that's great. I mean, and you see yourself, doing this for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they have boobs.
As long as they're there. Well, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that they hope they stay around for a long, long time.
Yeah, well, me as one of them.
You as well, yes.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you brought up to me that I found was really interesting is I'm going to go into the creative stuff and talking about that your interest in drawing and animation.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really, really cool. So I assume you've always been an artistic person ever since you were always.
I'm just the other side of my brain is just a paperweight. I mean, it's probably got some prisms hanging off of it or something. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm just creative.
But the creative part is the one that's always going.
Yeah, always.
Okay. So, and was drawing your first kind of artistic outlet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. It runs in my family.
Oh, it is?
My brother actually does comic books.
Oh, nice.
And my grandmother was an artist. So it just runs in the blood. It skipped my mother completely.
Oh, so she's not into it.
She can't do stick figures. So
well, I mean, you could still like it and not be good at it.
She's
just not. All right.
She wasn't present that day.
Okay. So what did you start with? Did you start with I want to say, markers, pencils?
Pencils, so graphite.
Okay.
And then for a while, I was doing charcoal.
That's what I was thinking of, charcoal.
I always seem to like it, like darker and dirty where you can see movement in it. And I always focus on like the figure, like typically either women or babies.
Okay. And charcoal, you can do like shading and you can actually make it look, whereas I think other like things like pencils and stuff don't.
And you can lift it and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then that is something that led into you going to school for animation?
Yeah. Well, I had started when I was in high school, I was doing dual enrollment because my art teacher in high school wanted me to glue beads to a paper. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah, so, you're like, that's the, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I did dual enrollment and took life drawing as a high school student, which was a lot to see someone naked for the first time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
Um,
I bet you could be an amazing model now if you were have you ever thought about doing that, actually being like a
I think they would be a little distracted. I don't know how much they would actually get drawn.
Maybe. I mean, assuming that they could, though, is that something like that you would, that?
I haven't thought about it.
Really? Okay. All right. I don't know if, I mean, I guess it would depend. I wonder, do they still do that where they actually have like a model come in and they do? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I loved that class so much that I think I took it like 9 times.
Wow. Okay. Nice. So then you went to, you started to go to animation school then, and you said for 3D animation.
3D animation using Maya Wavefront.
Okay. Now by this point, were they already were schools kind of phasing out 2D animation, or was that still around?
Illustration was still around. I mean, it still is, but it's harder to get work in that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've always been like, I know that 3D has revolutionized, especially film and things like that. But I feel like there's still something that's really beautiful about 2D animation, traditional animation. I don't know. Do you like 2D animation? Or do you,
I do. I mean, I like both. There's pluses to both. But when I had taken classes for it, I ended up being the only girl left in the class by the end of it.
Really?
So I'm like, and it was before these.
Okay.
So I didn't like smush them with my boobs. So
No. So then what was it about, like, was 3D was that something that drew you more because you liked where the technology, like where it was going?
I loved Photoshop. So then it just totally took me down another path for a bit.
Okay. All right. And do you like, I don't know if you go to see movies that often, or do you watch animated films?
I used to watch them a lot. I really, if I get time at the end of the night now, it's like I put on the fire, I have a glass of wine, and I listen to music.
Okay. So not as much anymore.
Yeah, not as much anymore.
That's all right. I mean, because I was gonna be, when you were going to animation school, was it something where, because there's a debate where, like, is animation or animated films as good as live action, or should they be considered the same? And I was just curious, like, from an artistic standpoint, what do you think in terms of, do you think that they should get more recognition?
I think they should, because there's so much work that goes in behind it. I mean, you're doing like timelines, you're doing rendering, you're doing modeling. I mean, there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah. Well, and especially when it used to be hand drawn.
Yeah.
Like when they actually had to hand drew every every frame and every cell, and I was like, it took years to do that stuff.
Do you know that Betty Boop just hit the trademark thing where
where now it's public domain?
Yep.
Nice. I did not know that. But it makes sense, yeah, because now I think it's like 95 years or 96 years now.
Yeah.
Which, funnily enough, I think the trademark kept getting extended because of Mickey Mouse. Because Disney didn't want to lose they didn't want to lose Mickey Mouse to public domain. Now eventually it can.
Yeah.
But so growing up then, were there certain cartoons or certain animation, like animated movies that you loved, or that really
I loved Who Framed Roger Rabbit, of course.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
And I really think it's stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I remember being young, and I would go to play dress up, and I started stuffing stuffed animals under my tops. Well, the stuffed animals kept getting bigger and bigger, and my mom kept wondering why she want all these big stuffed animals. Yeah, that was it. I was using them for
Well, because was it Jessica Rabbit then that really kind of Okay. Yeah.
So I think it started then.
Okay. that it planted the seed.
Yes.
So
Two seeds.
Nice. So did you ever, there was a movie that came out a few years after Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's called Cool World. Did you ever see that?
I only saw parts of it. I never
Okay.
saw the whole thing, like sitting the whole thing
Okay.
all the way through.
Because it came out a few years later, and it was the same concept where it incorporated live action.
And it had the blonde and the
Hollywood, that was played by Kim Basinger.
Yeah, that was it.
So I still think it's a pretty solid film.
They took the sign, the original Jessica, that was at the park.
Yeah.
They took it and they put it in storage. So it's like somewhere in storage. What a waste.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, she's an icon at this point.
I know.
I mean, I've heard, I think I read something saying that there was going to be a live action movie with her in it now. Like
I heard that. And they had based her on another celebrity that was known as the Backup, but I forgot her name.
But I'm just, when I read that though, I was like, Hollywood's not going to cast it correctly because they don't actually cast super huge boob women correctly.
Yeah, they don't.
Like
and their idea of what big boobs are is completely different than other people.
It's kind of laughable.
Yeah.
The way that they do it. Like for instance, because I always wanted to do to make a film based on the filmmaker Russ Meyer, which I don't know if you've heard of him. But he was a filmmaker from the 50s and 60s and 70s who specialized in making sexploitation movies featuring super busty women.
Yeah.
And he was doing this at a time before like the rating system, so he couldn't like show nudity, but he still and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, if somebody made that movie though, I'd want like all the women to have the actual measurements. Yeah, as the women they're portraying, or at least close.
Look at the old movies from I don't know if I'm going to say it wrong, but Maylis is that how you say it? But he would always kill all of the women off, and then the men would live.
Yeah, I'm
like, why do they always have to die?
Yeah.
But his wife was in those films,
and But so, all right. So Who Framed Roger Rabbit was like kind of your quintessential, like it both inspired you in animation and in body type. So then what how long were you in the animation like schooling before you like, what made you, not pursue it?
I was in it for like that part of it. I was probably about 3 years maybe.
Okay.
And then I ended up falling into like interior design, doing like showrooms and stuff like that. And then it just kind of grew from there.
Okay.
So I always figured that like all of the same principles of design are pretty much the same across the board.
Yeah.
So I figured as long as I'm doing something creative, I can apply the same rules.
Okay.
And so that's what I did.
Well, like, were you hoping at one point that you were going to work maybe for Disney or work for a VFX, like a visual effects studio that you might?
Yeah, I mean,
is that what you initially? That's what you initially.
But
thinking
I turned out falling in love with interior design. Okay. So I'm like, I just went with that because I learned it quickly, and I had a big waiting list when I opened my design company.
Okay. Nice. And another thing that I wanted to ask you about, because it's kind of related to animation, but do you know much about motion capture? So like when the Avatar films,
motion?
Like Avatar, where they film you as a human performance, and then they animate like a character around you. So and that I don't know if you have any if you've seen anything like that. Like
I've seen it done, but I haven't.
Well, like like Gollum in the Lord of the Rings films and stuff like that. I mean, to me, is that I wonder, do you think that would be like kind of the pinnacle of that kind of technology at that point in terms of, because I don't know where you go with animation after 3D.
Yeah.
You can't go to 4D.
No, you really can't.
I mean, I guess you can refine it more.
Yeah.
Which, you look at, say, Toy Story from 30 years ago and you look at Pixar movies today and they're, it's definitely Did you like that? Like when Pixar stuff started coming out, did that like?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, was
I
that
loved
pretty
it
amazing?
because I thought they did such a nice job on like the storylines and all that.
Well, and it's the stories that kept you.
Yeah.
Because like obviously some animation, technology tends to age.
Yeah.
And so, but when you can revisit those movies, the reason what makes them so great is because they're stories.
Yep.
So, but and now, I mean, and then also I think it was in 2001 when the Oscars added the best animated feature. So
yeah.
But yeah, so that's, I mean, do you still do any like drawing every now and then? Just as like
I still draw.
Like as like a hobby or just like a past?
I still draw.
Okay.
But it's funny because it's like,
is it a little more difficult to do?
Yeah, because I normally lay it down or I'll have like a little tabletop easel on like a ramp.
Yeah.
And then that way I can kind of, but I'm like working around these.
You could do boob art,
I know. I have smeared the graphite with, and I'm like, I've got like graphite all up.
Yeah. Or like put some, maybe paint on there or something if you wanted to do, unless you don't like working with paint.
Yeah, I've never got to learn how to paint. My grandmother had learned from Bob Ross.
Oh wow. Okay.
And like she had really bad asthma. So before she could teach me, it was too late.
Okay. Well, I imagine that if you decided to do like just get a canvas, do one boob or both if you wanted to turn it horizontally, I think those would be, some nice merch sales right there for you.
Some big Mickey ears.
Yep, exactly. So I wanted to move to plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Because that is something that aside of your boobs, you've had other things done, and you had some things that you wanted to talk about in regards to like the way that society views it and has different expectations and things like that. So what was the first, were the boobs the first thing you ever had done on you?
Yeah, my first 2 surgeries. Well, so when I got divorced, I had gone through, I should probably back up because I went through like a lot all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And so what had happened was I put in for my divorce, and at the same time, my house had flooded. It was plumbing issues and it was gutted to the studs.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. I mean, they took out the ceiling and floor and like they took everything out.
Yeah.
So I lost like everything I owned.
I'm sorry.
And so that was all at the same time. And I lost my grandfather, which was like my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost my pet. And it was all at once. And then I lost my job.
Wow.
So I'm like, it was all at once.
Yeah.
So I sat down because I was like, I didn't know what to do. And I sat down and I made a list. So on the list, I put every single thing that I wanted to change about myself. Either it be physical, like plastic surgery, or it be something else.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it all down on a list.
Okay.
And I started knocking it off. I started crossing it off.
All right.
So like when I ended up selling my house, I had put a lot of the work in myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I would look things up on YouTube, and I'd figure I'm pretty handy.
Yeah.
So I figured out how to do a lot of the things, and I flipped the house for over double
Nice.
of what I had bought it for. So then I took that money and reinvested it into me, which I had never gotten to invest anything into myself before that. I was just a mom.
Yeah. And so then your first your first procedure was a boob job first?
Within the first 3 months of my divorce, I got 2 boob jobs within 3 months.
Okay. And for like, did you start, so, and how many different procedures have you had?
Oh God, I don't know. I haven't counted. So I did the
We can save the boob stuff for the boob section,
yeah.
but if you want to.
I did three boob jobs and then plus the expander, so 4 boob surgeries.
Okay.
I did my lips 3 times.
Okay.
And then plus I do filler on top of that.
Okay.
I did a mini facelift, a mini neck lift, a brow lift, a nose job, which I probably should have did a little bit more, but oh well. An hourglass tummy tuck.
Okay.
Of course, lipo and like fat transfers.
Mhm.
I've done fat transfers multiple times. I did butt implants plus BBLs.
Mhm.
Plus the body fillers.
Okay.
The legal ones.
Yeah.
And did I leave anything out?
That's all right. I mean,
I think that's it.
well, and so for all of those different things, did you list all of those out originally, or were those did you add those as you went?
I did them as I went, but
Okay.
typically when I would go in for surgery, because I'm already going to be under,
Mhm.
I just add. It's like going up to McDonald's and saying,
Oh, you
I'll
can
take
add,
a,
you can
I'll
do
take
that.
a supersize this for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
and I'll take a 3, 5, and a 7.
So when you would go there, they would allow you to just, hey, can we tack on this?
Yeah.
Or would
yeah,
they?
and you just have to watch like how many hours of surgery there is because
Mhm.
you're only allowed to be under anesthesia for X amount of hours.
Okay. So, and when how long ago was your first surgery?
Oh, geez. I don't remember
You
the
don't
year.
remember? Okay. That's all right.
It's been a while.
No, it's okay. But how was there any surgery that you had that when you saw the results, it just kind of blew you away?
When I saw the first boob job results,
Mhm.
I was disappointed because I thought it was going to be bigger.
Yeah.
And every time I would go in, I would say, max it out.
Mm. Okay.
Well, my max it out is a lot different
Than what they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially in Michigan, they're not so. They don't understand the word max it out.
Well, are they limited legally with what they can do?
They're very conservative.
Okay.
And just add to it, it's like the largest shell you can get
Mhm.
in the States is supposed to be 800.
Yeah, that's right. So
you only want to overfill that by so much.
yeah. So and when did you have a procedure that was particular, was the recovery usually pretty easy for most of the time, or was it mixed? Like some would be easier than others?
I think my 2 hardest were my ass when I got the implants in at the same time as my stomach was etched and I had a BBL at the same time. So
Okay.
I was just like black bruise on top of black bruise on top of black bruise. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I can imagine that was probably somewhat uncomfortable. How long did that take to heal from all that?
It took a while.
Yeah.
It did. It took months and months.
Mm.
It was like you're not allowed to sit. You sit on like a perch, like a bird, because you're sitting on this hard ass cushion and balancing your thighs on there. And so you're not supposed to sit on your ass. And it was just like, yeah, it's kind of hard to do.
Well, I was going to say.
Well, the worst thing was I had bought these inflatable mattresses.
Mm-hmm.
They have a hole where you put your butt.
Yeah.
I didn't know what size to buy. How do you know what size butthole you're going to need?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to buy every size. Well, they had changed the color as I had a black one before, so they changed the color to pink. And I wasn't thinking anything of it, it's just for recovery. And I have to be able to take it to Europe and set it up in the room and have a pump with me to blow it up.
Yeah.
And so I bought every size. Like the night before, I pump them all up and I just stand them up around the room.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that the taxi driver was going to be kind enough to walk me up to my hotel room, and he opened the door, and it looks like a bunch of vaginas all around the room. I mean,
that's funny
because they changed the shape to like a canoe shape.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my god, it looks wrong.
yeah. And when you would, so how long would you usually wait? Because I assume that you would only do so many procedures at once and then have enough recovery time. Like what usually was the turnover in terms of, after a procedure? Would you have to wait like 6 months? Would you have to like 4 months, a year?
It depends on what surgery.
Okay.
So if you're getting lipo done, it can take a long time, like much later in the year to really start to see it, because your body has to drain like all the fluids and everything.
Okay.
And it swells and all of that. So
yeah.
That's typically the worst part, is just waiting for that swelling to go away.
Mm-hmm. Well, unless it's in your boobs, because I've heard that when your boobs are swollen, they're bigger,
Yeah,
but then you don't want them to go down.
I know. That's the thing. When you just fill like an expander,
mm-hmm.
like I always know like when it's enough. Like don't push
you
it,
can feel it,
because you can feel it. It gets harder to push the syringe,
mm-hmm.
and so you start getting like you're not able to.
Yeah, you can't put any more in,
and then the skin shines out. So you just kind of watch
mm-hmm.
for it and feel as you go, and then it's like, okay, nope, I'm done.
Okay. Now you were saying that you wanted to talk about how society looks at plastic.
Yeah,
what are your
maybe it's just me, but it just feels like butts. Like if you have like a BBL or you
mm-hmm.
have fillers, it seems to be more socially accepted, and it doesn't make such a big like stink when you go into a room,
than huge boobs do.
Yeah, boobs seem to be like, oh my god, not that, not two bumps under the skin. They're too high up here, and they're too big, But if someone walks in the room with
a huge
butt
butt
implants or BBL, I don't see that.
There's not as much batting an eye to it.
Not unless it's extreme.
Or maybe they're being showy, like if they were to walk in with like a thong on somewhere that maybe there's kids or something, then maybe. Yeah. But I get that too. I feel like boobs get a much harder, get much harsher criticism.
Yeah.
Than butts tend to.
Yeah.
So.
And I always feel like I'm wearing them front and center.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no hiding these.
No.
And it's pretty much like saying, everyone out there, this is my fetish. Mm-hmm. It's like I can't hide it. And people can lie and say they don't have fetishes, but everyone has something that pushes their buttons.
Yeah.
So mine's just front and center.
Yeah, it is. I mean, do you notice, like, because you've said that your fan interactions have always been pretty positive.
Yeah.
As far as like, what do you get for regular reactions then when you're out and about?
It depends where I go. If I go more toward like the city,
mm-hmm.
then it's extremely accepted, and I have fun with people. I'll take pictures and videos with them all night. I'll just
mm-hmm.
have fun. If I go toward a city that's more, I don't know, uppity.
Yeah.
Typically, they do not like boobs. They're
It's and
more conservative, and
I mean, obviously, because I mean, they are so hard to hide. I mean, are there ways like, like big sweaters or something that you can try to use to possibly
like it because it makes me look like
super
pregnant or
big?
something.
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
the boobs
I'm
are so
not that
huge.
big, I swear.
Yeah. Well, and so you have that dilemma where it's like the only way to cover them is to make you look as like not the way that you actually look.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think a lot of the guys too over the years have been like, why doesn't she just lift them up? Why doesn't she just get a lift?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like at a certain point, they're so heavy that that's not going to last long.
Yeah.
You're going to pay thousands and thousands and it's not going to take the weight of these.
Yeah.
Because these are like 52 to 54 pounds.
Okay.
Between the two.
Okay.
So there's no way it's gonna hold that.
Now, outside of the boobs, are there any other procedures that you can see yourself getting at some point, or are you pretty much, are you good with procedures?
I want to finish my butt off.
Okay.
Not so happy with that, but
okay.
But I just want to finish that one off.
Like make it bigger or make it
I have to fix one cheek.
Okay.
Like my last surgery, for some reason, one cheek was taken away.
all right.
And which no one ever tells you this, but when your boobs get so big, surgeon can't lay you down on your front.
Okay.
So it's a problem because now, like,
Do you
if
have to
I
be
want
on your side? Or
that's what he did for the last one is he just laid me on my side.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like it works so well, at least on one side.
Yeah.
So I can't find a surgeon that's willing to like redo implants or anything like that back there because how are they going to work on it?
Too bad they can't suspend you, like actually have you on like some sort of a...
Well, normally they have like foam or pillows or something, but like at a certain point, they give up. They're like, nope.
I was going to say...
no butt for you. Kind of like the soup from Seinfeld.
Yeah, right, yeah. But, maybe create a special table for you where there's a big cutout in the chest section and then like maybe a platform where your boobs can rest where they're not going to just be hanging and then they can work on the butt.
I ruined my mattress at home because the weight is so much that the side of my mattress, I try to fling them over the side.
Okay.
And I sleep on my side.
Yeah.
So my mattress goes like this and then it looks like a big bowling ball was dropped in there. So I'm like, and I don't want to get a new mattress because I just made that hole.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm like, it's custom.
Maybe Tempur-Pedic, like the kind of memory foam type mattress. I don't know if that would be helpful or if that's not.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
I tried to do something like that for recovery and I tried like stacking them and it was just a hot mess.
Okay. Well, I'd like to finish up though with of course just we've been talking about the boobs already, but now we can really, I feel like, get into the numbers and the stats and get right into it. So what size are your boobs currently?
They are 10,060 cc's each.
Each. Okay, so you got 20,120 between both of them. And that is an incredible number.
Yeah.
I mean, is that like, and I have to ask because, did you know that they would get that big at some point, or you just kept wanting them bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they just kept
wanting them bigger because every time I would get a surgery before the expanders, I was like, I could have fit more in there.
Yeah.
It's like Jell-O. There's always room for more.
Yeah.
Like every time, and still to this day, I'm like,
there's more room.
I can squeeze, skin over here.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So you do want to, can you go bigger still? Or are you kind of maxed out?
Right now, I am maxed out on my shell as far as I know.
Okay.
And they stopped making this size shell.
All right.
So the next shell that they make is half of the size. So I'm like, so
you can't do that. That'd be a downgrade.
If I chance it, like I'm so tempted. But what if I chance it and something happens and then I can't?
You can't go back to where you were.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want to lose that.
No.
So you currently have expanders in right now, or you have overfilled? Okay.
Nope, they're expanders.
Okay. And you said you had 4 procedures going into the expanders, right? So the expanders were the 4th?
Yeah.
Okay. And after that, has it just been a fill ever since then?
Yep.
Okay. And they're still, you never had an issue with them?
Never had an issue. I mean, the only issue I've ever had was before the expanders. There was a surgeon in Florida. I won't mention names.
Yeah, sure.
And he left my one boob open 3.5 inches. Wouldn't answer the phone, wouldn't answer emails, just ditched me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So that's what led me to the expanders. Because I finally found a surgeon that I trusted, and I wasn't going to go back to the same one.
No.
And so I'm like, I found someone that does my style, and another model had been like, the picture was sent to me, and I'm like, that's it. This is who I want.
Okay.
And so as soon as I decided on the surgeon, then I realized I'm a value shopper, and I could get expanders and have control over how big they go if I go this route for the same price.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, why do surgery when I could just
Yeah. And so like how often, so when you got the expanders, because when I had other guests, Charlotte, I think, right? She told me how, initially when she would fill hers, she could go like 200, 300, but then it started to get like she could only go like 50 to 100.
Yeah.
Like for you, what was that increase, like dosage like? Was it similar where you could do a lot in the beginning and then you had to kind of scale it back?
Started, they told me to do like 1 a month, like 1 fill a month, and they said at max to do 325. But I didn't want to keep, like, I started with that. I didn't want to keep jabbing the port.
Yeah.
Because how do you know that you're not, like, hurting it?
Damaging it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I figured sorry, I've got hiccups.
No, it's okay.
I started waiting longer for my skin to stretch.
Okay. And how long? So then would it be like every few months?
So then I started doing like 500 cc fills.
Okay.
Sometimes a little bit more than that, depending on if it looked like it was going to fit, and I still had some in the thing.
Yeah.
But
So when was when did you get to your current size then? How long have you been at that size?
I want to say I've been here maybe a couple years.
Okay. So you maxed out at that point and
like probably 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you want to go bigger,
I do.
You just don't want to push, you don't want to risk it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I really want to go bigger. I'm so tempted all the time. I'm like,
yeah. Well,
and I always call it booby juice, like, because I like get my supplies sent to me, and every time I see the package coming down the driveway, and I'm like, booby juice, and it's like, I should not run out toward the guy because things are flying. I've got black eyes, and it's
do you think then? Do you hope that they might like that somewhere? Because I assume you'd be willing to travel to a different country or go somewhere if they had the means of getting you bigger, right?
Yeah. I will say I love my surgeon, and that I prefer the brand that I have.
Okay.
Because it's a thicker shell.
Yeah. Well,
and
obviously
it doesn't have like the American ones have like a straw port. And these ports are integrated into the shells.
Okay.
So it's a better design.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And do you think that's probably why they've never ruptured?
Because
I've had other guests on that.
Yeah, it's way, way thicker.
Because I've had other guests on who, unfortunately, they had ruptures with expanders, which led to issues. And
I know a lot of times with the American ones, it's normally like around the seal of the port.
That
is kind of weak.
Okay. And it's unfortunate because I almost feel like it seems like that guy that does yours, I mean, to get that, well, I guess those shells don't exist anymore, but the smaller ones are probably the same like material, right?
Yeah.
They're just smaller.
They're the same, but smaller.
Okay.
I do kind of wonder if I was the one that broke it. Like
that they decided, like, okay,
they saw one of the shows I was on and they said, we got to stop doing this. People are filling it like crazy.
The fact that they've maintained and that you haven't had problems with them is amazing. And it's wonderful that you haven't had those problems.
Yeah. And I love the fact that they've stayed round.
Oh yeah.
But I am over the muscle. So I'm not under. A lot of the girls are.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get your first boob job, you don't really have a say that your surgeon says, okay, your skin is thicker, then you can have it over.
Yeah.
But if you have thin skin, you have to go.
It's got to go
under the muscle.
Okay.
So I think that's helped me a lot because otherwise you're pushing that muscle out and the muscle kind of goes up and around as it gets pushed.
Okay. So then as you kept getting bigger with the fills and everything, I mean, was it just something where you were looking at it and you were just like, yep, still not big enough?
Yeah, there was something about it. I had no idea I was going to enjoy it this much.
Yeah.
I didn't set out to do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just really like it.
Yeah.
It pushes my buttons. And when anyone's being really, really pushy and like not satisfied with my answers and I want them to just go away, I give a shocking answer.
Mm-hmm.
I just say, because they'll say, why did you do this? And I'll just say, because it gets me off.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
and it normally works. It shuts them down, and there you go.
Well, and I've never tried to like come from that angle because to me it's like you like them that large for a reason.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to get into the psychology of it or whatever because I can't tell you why I love huge boobs. Yeah. Even though people have asked me like, why do you like them as big as you do?
Yeah.
It's like I wish I could give you like a real scientific answer, psychological answer to that, but I can't.
Yeah. There's something different for everyone.
Yeah. So, but the fact is a lot of the other women I've had on the show that they talked about, having boob greed and just wanting to keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. Is that something that you felt like a similar, like we just can't
so bad.
Yeah. I just can't stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the body dysmorphia or
body dysmorphia.
Yeah. I feel like I don't have that because with that, you have to like not be able to focus on other things.
Yeah. It becomes like debilitating.
I'm focusing on other things and other people and not just surgery.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people just assume that all plastic surgery women have that.
Yeah, they have it. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. So what would you say that you have what's your favorite thing about having enormous boobs?
How outfits fit.
Okay.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I originally really liked I love antiques.
Yeah.
So I loved like the pinup look.
Yeah, true.
And Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
So it's like it's the closest thing to
that kind of
curvature.
Yeah. Which to the fact that women that have boobs as large, well, none have them as large as you do, but for ones that are like 3,000, 4,000 stuff. I mean, those are still huge. Those are very accentuated proportions that do play into those kind of pinup, old style.
Yeah.
Stuff. And when like I have to imagine that people love when they get to see you in person and get to see that those are are more amazing in person than they look in pictures.
It's funny because it's like I always feel like sometimes like they look small in pictures and it's like it's so different in real life, you know?
The thing that I just wanted to say is just how amazing you are that you have gone as big as you have. And the fact that it's been and that it's worked out so well for you. And
Yeah,
I'm just so happy. And I'm just so happy for you.
Adventure,
Yeah.
None of this would have ever happened for me if I
Had normal boobs.
Yeah, really.
Well,
I don't want it to be like an Easter egg hunt down my top. I want to be able to know, oh, there they are.
Yeah. Well, and like, do you like huge boobs on other women too? Like, is it something?
I do. I don't seem to like naturals. Nothing nothing against them. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But I like a
big
round fake boob.
Look.
And I like the mounding.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, did you notice that as you started to get bigger, like other big boob models would start to connect to you easy? Like they would be like, hey, you look amazing. Like, or did you reach out to them or, to make friends or?
I think it's gone both ways.
Both ways? Okay.
So, and like, because of them, again, it's like I've been able to become really, really good friends with some of the girls out there.
Yeah.
So it's been, it's been really cool to meet other people that I can actually talk to that understand like
how you feel and how you look at
and
it.
what I have to go through to get everything done. And
did you have any like big boob model, aside from Jessica Rabbit, like any other kind of inspiration, when you saw certain models? Because like, for instance, there was a model from the late 2000 or the late 90s, early 2000s named Maxie Mounds.
Yeah.
Do you know who she was?
At the time, I didn't know any of
that? Okay.
I didn't know one thing about this industry. And I just kind of, I don't know, I kind of fell into it and rode down the hill. I don't know. Like I'm here now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so I'm just saying, because I'm sure like, because
like now I know.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So, because she had the polystyrene, like a string.
Yeah. She had the string implants.
Which I don't think you can get anymore because I think those are outlawed.
Right.
But because
there was no shell containing them.
Well, that's the thing. They kept growing. Yeah. Right? Like they just wouldn't stop growing.
It would get irritated and then or agitated or whatever, and it would just keep growing.
Mm-hmm. So, which part of me almost feels like you would have liked if they just didn't stop growing. As long as they didn't.
Yes, I would.
As long as they didn't give you a problem.
As long as they had a shell, then I would have liked it.
Yeah, because like Chelsea Charms was another one.
Yeah.
I think she had the string too.
Yeah.
And for a time, she did have the largest in the world.
Yeah.
But I know that I don't know when she downsized, but I know that I'm sure when she retired and eventually.
But I recently got her bra and was able to try it on, and it's like, it blew me away because I thought I held it out, and it's like a tarp. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is only going to fit the front of my car. Like, there's no way this is going to fit. And I put it on, and I actually, it's balancing like out to here.
Okay.
So it doesn't fit.
Oh, okay.
It's upset.
Wow.
I keep breaking the strap.
All right.
Every time I'm like, stop it.
Well, Foxy, unfortunately we have come to the end of the episode. I mean, I definitely wish we could keep going because, normally I would have said I'd love to have you back, but I don't know if the show will.
Well, if it comes back, I would love to be back on.
Well, and definitely you would always be welcome back on no matter what. But again, I just want to say thank you. And again, you were the perfect guest for my final episode. And I just want to say thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. I've enjoyed every minute, and
You had a good time?
I really had a great time.
Okay, well, I'm very happy. And to all of you out there in Huge Boob Land, I can't say that I'll see you next time, but I just want to say thank you again so much. You've been wonderful, and this has been such an amazing experience. And maybe I'll be back. I don't want to close that door forever, but if it doesn't, I just, again, from the bottom of my heart, from this huge boob hound, this huge boob fan, I just want to say thank you for joining me for the last few years. And I hope that you have, that this has been as wonderful for you as it's been for me. And I hope that you take care.